This is my review on 2012 Marvel's The Avengers. Title as Marvel's The Avengers. Um, this movie gets a 10 out of 10 for me because I just love Scarlett Johansson. Other than that, the movie's fucking retarded. Everything about the movie was the writing and effects, maybe. Visual effects, as in the CGI. While the practical effects are good, tolerable, understandable enough to the visual eye standards, the bit generic. No, not the generic. The practical effects look good enough. This is that the CGI looks confusing of why it looks a little like a cartoon. Where's the CGI in this movie? Because it looks somewhere a blend between reality and cartoon logic, and that was the intent of reading. Apparently, he said on the commentary that he wanted to blend cartoon and reality together with the CGI for this movie. Thanks for that, reading. Now all the other Marvel movies are doing that now. Yeah, because this was the first Marvel movie that used CGI like to this design of like it was somewhere between cartoon and real looking, but never either or. Just both tries to be, and so after that, every Marvel movie tried to go with the CGI design. I don't know why. I don't know why you like to make it look like a cartoon while also making it look like an existent real world at the same time. It's confusing for me. But I give this a 10 out of 10 just because I love Scarlett Johansson. As I can do, and this, and I'm sorry, but as good as she is, her performance is better than what it could have. Is better than what it could have been, given how bad the script is in this movie. And in fact, that's how I feel with all of her performances was in the Black Widow territory. That she's doing the most. She's a good job, but the writings is still not up to Blackwood, up to standards. You know, not that it's her fault. So, so she, everyone, yeah. So she's awesome. Always is awesome with giving what she's giving with the scripts of the Avengers movies and stuff, including this one. So no complaints there. Although it sucks how she doesn't have a Russian accent like in the comics. Black Widow, Natasha's Black Widow. You know, I know Iron Man 2 had that problem, but why can't we then change that? Look, like, why couldn't he just, like, make Scarlett Johansson to do a Black Widow impersonation of Natasha, where she talks like a like has a Russian accent instead of just using her regular voice. I don't know why that didn't happen. So it is what it is. Uh, this movie doesn't make a lick of sense of how the heroes come together. It's stupid, retarded reasons of leading up to events. So, now the characters are fucking stupid morons. Versions of themselves from the comics. You know what I think of the Avengers movies? I think what most people. You know how most people complain about the Transformers Michael Bay's movies? Like you're saying they don't live up to the cartoons standards, and I agree with that, but I think they're 10 out of 10 for Elseworld story. But I can't say that's what these are. These not really fully realized versions of these characters, full potential realized. And it never got to that point. With any of them, I think, in the MCU. And some of them are dead now. Whoa. What's something to see? So, what can you do? Can't fix what's broken. You can try by gluing back together, but it won't be the same. Blah, blah, blah. This plot is a fucking disaster of a plot. So let's talk about the plot, right? Okay. Loki comes from the other side of this portal, hired by these grim, like, creeper guy looking alien thing, who has Loki lead this army invasion to New York attack. And, well, Loki's agenda is to be a king and a ruler on New York in the human race, blah, blah, blah. That's what he wants. He wants power, blah, blah. He wants to be some king of something, blah, blah, blah. Because he couldn't be a. Or has the amnesia. Where he's lying about it, about that he said that he was a rightful king of Asgard. Because the movie often forgets its own continuity from the past tie-in events of the standalone predecessors in the MCU. A lot. Completely. It's like, you know how Thor broke the bridge of Asgard in the first Thor movie? And that was the last time we saw him before this movie. And that was the only way to gain back to Earth. And breaking the bridge also destroyed the portal to Earth. And lost the portal to Earth, so he couldn't go back. So, how the fuck did he got back to Earth in the first place if he has no place to go? To Earth. He has no interest to go to Earth, And it's not like he has Stormbreaker in this one. He has Nilmir, who cannot summon which cannot summon the Bifrost without Handel. So it doesn't make any sense. Oh, and Loki thinks that Loki remembers the events of Thor differently, and nobody corrects him or corrects him, so we can assume that he's being honest. And so I guess the events of Thor plays out different now in this movie to them. So that didn't really happen. How it went down, and neither Loki committing suicide and assuming fell into the endless abyss of a black hole, but then related to being possessed one of Thor's friends in Earth somehow, or maybe he's impersonating them. Not really explained, but we find out at the end of credits. But then that's instantly forgot about and thrown in the dumpster and out of the continuity timeline once you approach this movie. So making the Thor movie obsolete. Great. Thanks for taking a shit on that Whedon of building building a universe, and then you had one job, Whedon. You had one job. You had to bring these characters together. You didn't have fuck with any continuity, but no, you even back then had to be a big shot. And fuck with the continuity. And since then, I have not taken the MCU seriously to this day since this movie happened. As much, or been as into as much since 2012's Avengers from there on out. Because they started since the first Avengers movie, my expectation have started to decline towards the MCU since the first Avengers movie, and from there on out was all the shows and movies after that. To say. And Loki comes to, yes, I stopped talking about the plot, I realize. Okay, the plot is kind of bare bones stupid. Loki jumps to Earth through this portal, possesses Hawkeye. Well, yeah, Hawkeye. Or Hawkeye. Wait, is it? Stupid fly. Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. So he basically gets benched. And doesn't become a actual Avenger thing, what you're saying is heroic until he gets unbrainwashed from Loki control later in the movie, and that's rather the halfway point of the movie, I think, or the end, third act or something, third act, I believe, I think, if I remember correctly, so at the end. And Nick Fury plans to blow up a place and bury Loki and everyone with it. While stalling Loki, Hawkeye points out the obvious of what's going on. And they bail. Leave Fury. And Fury gets shot by Hawkeye, Clint Barton. And he's fine. He's got both rest, so. Maria Hill finds out stuff from Fury about Loki and Clint saying stop them, blah blah blah, and they steal the Tesseract and they escape, and Fury says we're at war. It's a cold blah blah blah, and he can't sing anything. So he doesn't say anything. This until Avengers pops up, and we didn't think she's being clever, but it's not clever. It's just random. It comes across on the commentary. He thinks he's being clever with that shot. I thought it was stupid. Be proud of that, Uh, so they all get recruited by Blackwell and Coulson. Then Thor tags along after trying to steal Loki away and back to Asgard with Loki. So Loki and all the Avengers meet up, and Loki's Captain Prison on the helicarrier. But Fury has his suspicions that this is part of Loki with what he wants, and the only one wants to be on the helicarrier. And he's got a feeling that he's playing everybody. Which, fair enough, and it turns out he's not wrong. He is. And, Natasha goes to basically use reverse psychology to get what the answers, what she wants from Loki, by pretending to cry and just find out that he's playing on Unleashing the Hulk is part of his plan while he's on the helicarrier. And so she figures it out and drops the act and leaves and thanks Loki. And Loki's all confused and pissed. He looks dumbfounded. I thought it was Loki. Yeah. So that was funny. And so the Avengers meet up after they do some digging on Shield and Fury, and turns out that they plan on using the Tesseract to make nuclear weapons. Fury denies this to Steve, but then Tony finds the blueprints on the computer that he hacked. And this leads to argument between Fury and all of the Avengers and blah blah blah, because the Tesseract, besides bad luck and them lying to each other and blah blah blah, is making them all turn on each other and the Tesseract is like having something to do with this effect too, and making them more negative than they are. And it's explained that that's not just a theory of mine, but it's explained on the commentary that that's Sweden's intention of this movie. So if you think it's stupid, then you're not wrong. I mean, did they really need the Tesseract to turn back on each other when they're so good at doing it themselves? All Loki did was did a good job pissing them off, not basically defying them. and making them turn on each other. So that was kind of a mistake that Baron Zemo fixed in Civil War. And actually, well, before Thanos defeated the Avengers. By outsmarting them, you know? So, and Tony points out that this was a terrible plan of his because it backfired. And he called it once he talks to Louis and threatens him after he kills Coulson. When he has now something to do with the Avengers that to a guy that each Avengers barely know but know. They all have connections with, so that's what they have to do to form the Avengers. Yeah, that's what brings them together in the end. What a load of shit. Of bullshit. Stupid writing. So, mm-hmm. When they meet up in New York, and he's take down Loki and meet up with Loki, blah blah blah, and have their own encounters with Loki before all of them have their final encounters with Loki, blah blah. And the King Pickaxe saved the day and disposed of a nuclear weapon through the portal in the sky. And then closed the portal. And due to Tony's sacrifice, and technically is a sacrifice, but he technically is supposedly flatlined, so, or just passed out. We're not really sure what happened, but Hulk woke him up with his roar, and it's scaring the crap out of him properly. So that's what you do when someone flatlines children or in adults. You scare the crap out of them. And that'll bring them, that will revive them. Not CPR. What a little stump writing of fiction fun. Fiction fun. This is a really cheesy, fun film. So they have a happy ending, and they go their separate ways. And Thor goes back to Asgard, takes the Tesseract and Loki away. And Thor tells his superiors to go fuck themselves, basically. And says that the Avengers deserve a vacation and a break in the trust that they have earned by Fury. So, and the freedom. So basically, he believes they'll come back because they will simply need them to. He says, "What a cheesy line!" I actually burst out laughing at that line in theaters because it's so cheesy, over the top, campy, goofy fun writing. You know, this whole movie is, but that's kind of the fun of it. Was the first Avengers movie and the sequels. So that's the story. Dumb as balls, cheesy as balls, but fun as balls. It's cheese balls. That much fun. Let's talk about the characters of how Whedon pretty much turned me off of every one of these characters. Almost everyone. You know, it's just look. My biggest problem is why the whole movie kind of retcons a bunch of continuity from past time events was in the universe, so that's how it butchers it me. It retcons everything. It just does that. I don't know why it does that, and it was everything pretty much until later installments after this movie happen. With some things, others never really got undue and fixed. And honestly, I hate Mark Ruffalo as Banner and as Hulk in this movie. I don't know why Hulk starts attacking people randomly in this movie, because usually when you attack people in the past events of the MCU was simply Edward Norton's Hulk when it was played by Edward Norton before played by Mark Ruffalo in this movie. Actually usually acted out of anger for a legit reason. Like it was either being scared or something, or being attacked by something, or thinking he was going to be attacked or something. So I'm just wondering, what the heck is Hulk thinking in this thing when he's trying to attack